Hiya folks, it's Kikoskia here, and welcome back to Let's Replay Icewind Dale the Enhanced Edition. And when last we left off, we've encountered the person whose tomb this belongs to. Kresselak. Oh, sorry, I mean Kresselak. Actually, both of those are accurate. Either way, this is the spirit of a long-dead war chief who forged a kingdom, realized he was going to grow old, and then made some very foolish decisions in an effort to spend eternity with his god. Turns out, he just cursed himself to stay here forever, but that's not what's important. What's important is whether Kresselak is the evil that is plaguing Kuldahar. He says no, and he also claims to know who is involved in this evil spreading and the weakening of the power of the tree. He'll tell us if we deal with a priestess of a goddess of ice who really wants to get in here and extinguish every single torch. I can sympathize with Kresselak in wanting to keep all of the warmth and light here. Spending eternity in a cold, dark tomb, not great. Does he deserve it? Probably. But we're still going to help Kresselak out. This pool is filled with an unidentifiable green liquid. It emits an eerie glow. And so's this one. Right, let's get out of here. There's nothing more we can do here, and it doesn't take that long to actually leave the tomb. For all the time we spent fighting our way towards Kresselak, you can get out of here really fast. See, we're already on the second level, and we're about to get to the first level, and then out. If you're wondering whether the encounter with the Priestess of the Goddess of Ice is going to go well, how do you think it's going to end? She's going to be like, I'm going to extinguish all the torches in here. We're going to be like, please don't do that. And they're going to go, no. And then we'll have to kill them. Yeah, this is an encounter that is not going to end well. Now, I've never actually not agreed to help Kresselak out, so I imagine there are ways that you can have the encounter not happen, say if you take too long getting there, or if you just decide not to. But then I wonder how you can actually progress in the plot. I bet there is another way. Maybe Kresselak ends up letting slip what you need to know in his anger. Not actually sure if Kresselak's spirit can hurt you. I know you can't hurt Kresselak. Right, we are out, and we are going to save, because there is going to be an enemy we have to worry about. Most likely a lesser shadow down here. We could deal with one lesser shadow, though. Are you here? Oh, you are not here. I was expecting you to be here. Right. I do believe the place we need to go to is here. The Ice Cave. This is why you want to clear this place out before you go into the main crypt, because if you don't, there will be a lot more Yetis for you to deal with when you confront the Priestess. Dealing with it first means there's a lot less. We also want to make sure we have all of our resources, because this fight is going to potentially be a tricky one. Spellcasters are always a problem. Right, do you have... Yeah, I think we pretty much have everything. Okay, save again. And here we go.
I'm here, not a problem.
If we can make it. Okay, so... doesn't look like there's anyone in here. This is my private retreat. I will thank you to leave me to my solitude. I seek a priestess of Auril. Would that be you? I am somewhat familiar with Auril. The Frost Maiden is not very popular among most peoples. Many worship her out of fear rather than love or devotion. Her truly faithful are rare and secretive, to say the least. Why do you seek such a person? I must speak to her about a matter of some importance. Really? I must admit that I am bursting with curiosity. I can't imagine what is so important that you would seek out a follower of Auril. Would you care to enlighten me?
It is a private matter that I could only discuss with the priestess.
I see. Very well. Let us end this charade. I am Lyson, servant of Auril. You have found her priestess. Now, state your business with me. We could just launch straight into our demand, but you know what? Let's actually talk. I would first know the tenets of your faith. Auril is the Frost Maiden, the cold breath of the north. She asks that her followers extinguish all flames, open structures to the cold, and to embrace winter. Those are the basic precepts of the faith. I would reveal nothing more to a non-believer. So tell me, why do you ask? I have come on behalf of the spirit of the tomb here. He is worried about your intentions towards his resting place. I know nothing of any spirit, but I am familiar with the tomb you speak of. It is an abomination in the eyes of a goddess. I intend to make it more pleasing to her tastes.
There is a spirit bound to that tomb. He does not wish to spend eternity in the cold and dark.
I couldn't care less what this spirit wants. He is dead, is he not? What do the dead care for light or dark, cold or warmth? They are beyond such mortal concerns.
What about the people of Kuldahar? They are not dead, nor are they beyond mortal concerns. Would you deny them the warmth and protection of the Great Tree?
Kuldahar, the Great Tree, and the circle of warmth are an abomination in the eyes of Auril. Kuldahar shall embrace the winter in her name or perish in the cold wastes. The will of Auril shall be done. I cannot allow this to happen, Lyson. Oh, really? How sad. I shall have to kill you then. Prepare to meet your fate, fool. So be it. Right, combat. So, arrows.
Yes.
Combat.
You have need of me?
Stab.
Yes.
Stab.
Ready.
Magic missiles to immediately deal with the
Yes.
magic threat, and move you to here.
Simple enough.
Now, oh yes, this is something that happens. A lot of people suddenly surrounded, specifically Yetis. So,
Is that all?
this is not great. I actually want you to, actually, do that.
What is it?
You do that. You do that.
I am by your side.
You do this for an offensive spin. Okay, that'll deal with one of them. Oh dear! That was a lightning bolt-esque spell.
What?
Right. That was our spell, by the way. Bouncing back. Whoops. You keep firing, because you're going to be a problem. Also, you are not doing anything. Oh yeah, I didn't actually order you to do anything, did I? Oh.
Speak if
Please go over there so that you... Okay. You got hit, that's fine. It's not fine. Can we have you do that? Also, can we magic missile you? Okay, you're down. Excellent. A command spell got you down on the ground. I need you to keep hitting this foe. Attack, attack, and that there. Excellent. We are not doing... Okay, that's another one down. And magic missiles will wake you up. This is fine. This is not actually fine.
give me a task.
Hold person, I think we have to do that. Can we do that from here? I think we can. Didn't work, though. Ah, you have run out of spells. This is good.
I'm here.
I think you're in trouble. You're in big trouble, because now there's only you. That was a little bit messy. I forgot about all the Yetis appearing all around us. I thought they'd just appear in one spot. But one hit should take care of you, provided we get that hit. There we go. And a Magic Morning Star
Yes.
is our
We'll
reward.
carry no more.
Oh, and also, she is dead and the curse has been lifted. We are free. We thank you. What curse? She cursed the veil and bid us to rise. We could not deny her. The calling, it was too strong. What calling are you talking about? I do not know. I cannot explain. We could not resist the calling. I must leave now. The land of the dead calls me home. Farewell.
Very well. Farewell.
And off they go!
What is it?
And by doing this, we have inadvertently solved the problem in
Is that all?
the Veil of Shadows. The undead were rising. Now they won't. Yay! And all we had to do was deal with that priestess. And we rested.
Easy as
Now, if
copper
we
and
go
pie.
back here, there should not be a lesser shadow anymore spawning. Hopefully. There will still be yetis if we hang around here too long. There'll definitely still be yetis. That fight, if you're not prepared for it, if you're not prepared for more yetis appearing, that is, can be a really tricky one. If we'd have had a proper plate mail wielding frontline fighter, we could have dealt with it even more handily, but we didn't do too badly. Rodella and Iona really are starting to hold their own. Iona's going to get much better at combat as the levels go up. Especially when we get more points in weapon specialization.
I'm here.
Either way, we just have to
Not
pop
a
back in now.
problem.
There is no quick way down to the 3rd level, unfortunately. We just have to walk the old-fashioned way.
Go.
But no one's going to stop us, again. And we do have a little bit more loot. We have that magic Morning Star. We're not going to be equipping it, because nobody can really use it capably. Also, I need to switch you back to your longbow. Really am tempted to get the composite longbow +1, but I know that you really want to save your money at the beginning of the game. You don't want to buy things that you'll probably find in vast quantities later on. Also, there are a couple of magic items in the blacksmith stock that you really want instead. Really good ones. Now, can you identify this by just looking at it? No. No, you can't. Okay. Morning Star +1. We also have another one of these. We have a couple of things. You know, actually, we have a couple of things to identify. Why don't I just save the game and identify them? That's why.
I'm here.
Because we can still have combats in
I'll
here.
do what I can.
There are a
What
couple
is
of
your
straggler guardians that Kresselak can summon forth. Good thing too, because we can get a little bit of loot from these. Mainly bows and arrows.
I'm here.
The arrows are useful for you. And the longbows, honestly, not bad either. Right, let's try and rest again, shall we? Yay, that worked. Right. Really, I should be preparing multiple identifiers when I'm doing this. This is a wand of magic missiles. When activated, the wand will eject a missile of magical energy that darts forth and unerringly strikes its target. This includes enemy creatures in a melee. The target creature must be seen or otherwise detected to be hit, however, so near total concealment such as that offered by arrow slits can render the spell ineffective. Against the creature, the missile will inflict 1d4 + 1 points of damage. The only person that cannot use this is a Wizard Slayer. This is one of the few ones that can be used by pretty much anyone, and is quite handy. Handy enough that I'm going to be giving it... I'm going to be giving it to you. Also, I want you to identify that. So actually, let's remove these, and actually put some more identifiers here. Rested for 8 hours, it was paused. Right. Braces of armor, 8. We could sacrifice 4 armor class and some bab and have you wear that, but honestly, not a good idea. I could have you wear these, though, for when you're not shapeshifted. We also want to identify... have I run out of... yes, you're wearing your armor. Silly me! Morning Star +1. Longsword +1. Okay. Now, we shall switch these over. And
Yes.
there is one thing someone asked, and that was why I'm not using armor, which would make our armor class as if it was scale mail, which is 6. Now, that's 2 worse than the chainmail, and I will probably never remember to cast it. I rarely remember to cast it when I'm using my sorcerer, so how do you think I'm going to do with casting it on my bard? Her spells are going to be something that we'll use more a little later on as time goes on, and we'll have better stuff to mitigate the loss of armor class from not wearing armor at that point. For now, though, chainmail's fine. We can have her as a charismatic warrior that can cast some utility spells. Okay, Kresselak, we dealt with the Priestess. Let's see what you have to say.
I am here. No small task.
Hello.
You have returned. You have performed the task that I set before you?
Yes, the priestess is dead.
Yes. I no longer sense her presence. You have done well, and I thank you. As a reward, you may take what you find in my sarcophagus.
A good reward, but not why we did this. You said you would tell me who is responsible for the evil that plagues Kuldahar.
Yes, so I did. The truth of the matter is that I do not know who is responsible. I can only assure you that it is not I, nor is it anyone in this veil. Were to be otherwise, I would sense it.
That is not the answer I was promised, Spirit.
Promised? I made you no promise, adventurer. As for your answer, knowing where your enemy is not is as vital as knowing where he is. Think upon that.
You are not wrong, Kresselak. You are not wrong. Also, that's a ton of level ups. Also, there are some good things in here. There is a two-handed sword. There is plate mail armor.
You as you wish.
Oh, this is what I was hoping for. This is what I was hoping for. We'll take that. This class of open-faced helmet, made of reinforced leather or metal, covers most of the head, save the face and mask. These helmets commonly provide protection for the nose. Plate mail is a combination of chain armor with metal plates covering the vital areas such as the chest, abdomen, and groin. Similar in construction to bronze plate mail, true plate mail comprises chain and leather. Armor class 3. We now have an armor class of 0 for you. And you look amazing in Kresselak's armor. You look positively amazing. But that's not all.
Not a problem.
We need you here so
What?
that you can
Very well.
carry certain
I
stuff.
see.
There's also a pair of magical blades. A two-handed sword and a scimitar. Now, the scimitar is something we're probably not going to be using. But the two-handed sword, that's going to be very useful. I forgot that that was here. Right, I want you to identify that two-handed sword now. Kresselak's sword +1. Kresselak, the barbarian king, once wielded this sword to aid him in his conquest of the northern lands. It is not known, however, how he originally acquired the weapon. Most scholars believe Kresselak simply found the weapon in one of his many conquests. However, rumours do persist that the sword was the creation of some powerful wizard and was commissioned by Kresselak himself. The truth of the matter will never be known. It is a +1 sword, but it does confer 10% cold resistance. We are absolutely going to be equipping that. Oh, that's wonderful. Now we have dealt with the problem of not having a magic weapon for Magnus. And we could also, while we're thinking about it, rest here. Was that Kresselak laughing? I think that was Kresselak laughing. And we can get this identified too. The Cradle of Meliki 1 +1. A lesser-known weapon, historically only used by rangers serving Meliki. This blade has a very humble and simple background. The Cradle of Meliki was originally blessed by a triumvirate of druids for a ranger named Kel Pathwalker. Kel led a peaceful life, fending off the occasional orc or goblin who might wander into his lands. When he died of old age, the druids had no one to pass the blade to. The oldest of them, Beeman, held onto the scimitar, but never used it in battle. When Beeman and his associates left the grove for an extended period of time, a wandering mercenary robbed the hollow tree of its riches. He carried the scimitar north to the spine of the world, where he died of exposure. Well, that sounds like a silly thing to do, but, there we go. Magic scimitar. Not a bad blade. Right. Levels. We have a lot of levels here, and we might as well get to leveling. First off, you. That's 7 hit points. We'll go with 7 hit points. That's fine. Again, we'll increase this by 10. We'll increase this by 10. And we will increase this by 5 to get it to 50. There we go. First one. Save there. And the druid. 8 hit points. And a 3rd level spell. Huh, that puts you to 53. You know what? We'll stick with that. 3rd level spells. Ooh. They are good. We like getting more of them. We're gonna have another cure spell. Your hit points are important. 6. You know what? That's fine. Another level 1 spell. Huh. So we have Chromatic Orb, we have Armor, we have Magic Missile. Sleep is very good at early levels, but we're moving away from that point, so I'm not sure how useful it's going to remain. Larloc's Minor Drain is not good. Protection from Evil could be useful, but really we want you to have offensive spells. That's really what we want you to have. Color Spray? Could still be sort of handy. Burning Hands could also be handy. I'm gonna go with Burning Hands, honestly. Level 2, however. Here we go. Where's Mirror? There's Mirror Image. When a Mirror Image spell is invoked, the spellcaster causes 2 to 8 duplicates of himself to come into being around him. These images do exactly what the wizard does. Since the spell causes a blurring and slight distortion when it is cast, it is impossible for opponents to discern which is the illusion and which is the actual wizard. This is a good spell. Like, there are some good spells here. Web is useful, yes, but Mirror Image, universally handy. And finally... Ooh, only 4 hit points. Oops, should have really been saving between all the other ones. Right. This is when you get worse hit points. No, you get pretty much the same. We'll save this time after them. I was hoping, like, we'd get 3 out of 3, but it's like, nah. We were not so fortunate. It's okay, though. You got a lot more hit points this time round. Right, I went for Burning Hands, and I went for Mirror Image, because Mirror Image will always be useful. Right. Save. Now! 2nd time's the charm for you. 6. 6 is alright. Also, 2nd level spell. You finally are starting to learn more of them. We do need to teach you some more spells at some point, but we have not got to that point yet that we're going to have you cast many of them, but we will teach you some. We'll definitely teach you some. And so, when we come back, folks, we have completed most of the first chapter of the game. There's still a couple of things you need to do. Also, Magnus looks amazing in Kresselak's armor. We just need to get you a magic bow, and then you'll be even more awesome looking. This party's starting to shape up. It's starting to become pretty neat. And so, we'll return back to Arundel, tell them about our news, and hopefully that will satisfy him. It will not satisfy him. We're going to have to go far further afield to find out what's happening with Kuldahar. Of that I know. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.